back to Jeep Exploits. I'm going to do a repair today on my Jeep in preparation for the Polar Bear Run, which is an annual get-together that our local Jeep club does. And I just want to get rid of these plastic side steps and put something on a little better. So the first thing I'm going to do is go through the removal, and then I'm going to show you what we're going to put on. To remove these side rails, I'm going to go ahead and use my 13mm socket and a 10mm wrench. Now, as I said, this came completely off. You'll notice I have some big zip ties that somebody on the trail had brought with them, and that was the only thing that was keeping this on, as these plastic pieces to which it is mounted have come completely out. So this one is pretty much trash now that it's off the Jeep. So on my last outing with my boys, I ran into a little bit of a trouble. I was coming off of a shelf and slipped and took the side rail completely off on the passenger side. And as you can see here, we got a little dent in the side from where the side rail came up and actually hit the metal. So now that the side rail is off, I'm going to go ahead and see if I can undo these two bolts, pull that out a little bit before I mount my side rails. We also have some protection that we're going to add here before we mount the rock rails on to help firm this up and give it a little bit more strength. So I went ahead and pulled this out and pulled the dent out as best as I could, and I left the bolts out because I have a Hammerhead bottom trim pinch weld cover that I'm going to be adding to here. So the first thing I did is I cleaned this area once I got it so that I wouldn't have dirt trapped in between there. The next piece is to cut these foam insulation pieces and stick them to the back of these rails. They will protect paint. Now I'll take these rails and I'll mount them into those factory holes, and you'll see it gives the Jeep a nice clean look. I have put out my Torx 40 bolt, washer, and lock nut. And I've laid all of that out to make sure I have all of my parts before I begin. Here I'm using a Torx 30. These are going to replace those factory bolts that I took out here. As you can see, it's on, it provides a nice rail to keep that pinch weld nice and safe. I'm going to go ahead and repeat this process on the other side, the driver's side of the Jeep, but I'm not going to bore you with some sort of montage. I'm just going to show you the final product. And now the driver's side is done. See, that pinch weld is nice and secured and taken care of. Now I'm going to put on my rock rails. Here are the side rails that I've selected. It's the Smittybilt SRC side armor, part number 76634. Let's go ahead and pull the box open. Take a look at these beauties. You can see Smittybilt has them nice and protected. I'm going to go ahead and unbox this, and I'm going to do the driver's side first. One thing I will give Smittybilt is the way they package their items. They come to you undamaged. So I have these two 16mm bolts that I'm going to remove here and here. Place the side rail up on there, and then I will replace those bolts. And that's what holds on my rock rail. Using a jack to lift it into place made my life a lot easier, where my son and I could hand thread these bolts so that I can then go ahead and run them in with my tool.
And now I'm borrowing my son's snap-on torque wrench. I'm measuring out 50 foot-pounds. And you want to do that for every bolt.
And now you can see the finished product. Pinch weld is protected. I also have these rock rails to help prevent any future damage. And I am ready for the polar bear run. That's all we have for today. Thank you for joining us on Jeep Exploits. Don't forget to like and subscribe. It really helps the channel out. See you next time.